we spoke, I do want to touch on, obviously, I think you said as a heavyweight, maybe Usyk wasn't in that all-time great kind of caliber. What did you see on Saturday that maybe changed your mind that now he is there with the Muhammad Ali's, the Evander Holyfields? What did Usyk do? What do you see from Usyk that puts him into the all-time great category?
Right. So, firstly, he showed everybody that he can change his style. He's not a slick boxer, right? On Saturday, he wasn't thinking about boxing. He was thinking about fighting. Very few fighters can do both. You can do one or the other. Most boxers box. I'm a boxer. I'm not a fighter. I don't know how to fight. I couldn't fight to save my life, but I can box you all day long, right? But what he showed Usyk was the fact that if he needs to, he can bite down on that gum shield. And if you want to fight, he took Daniel Dubois' game. He said to Dubois, if you want to fight, let's go. Because that's what Dubois likes to say to his opponent. Let's go. He did it to Joshua Dubois. And he done the same thing to him that he had done to his previous opponents. Secondly, when Alexander Usyk needed to box off the back foot, when he was getting backed up, he did it beautifully. He did it so it was almost effortless. And I didn't pick Usyk just for the hell of it before the Dubois fight. I picked it because I studied him. I picked it because I know 9 times out of 10, a good all-round boxer beats a fighter every day of the week. I stated several other facts, like Usyk doesn't get cut. He's never been down. He's never been behind in a fight. All of these questions were answered again on Saturday because, anytime Dubois stepped in, Usyk had an answer for him. It didn't really matter where Dubois went in that ring. Usyk had an answer for him. He just outmaneuvered him. He was like 4 steps ahead of Dubois, and Dubois just didn't have an answer. I don't remember the last time I saw Daniel Dubois. Again, I've watched Dubois' last 4 or 5 fights, where he's come out and he's claimed the centre of the ring and he's dominated. And he's got the other guy going back. Hrgovic, he done it to him. He done it to Miller and he done it to Joshua. He slapped the face off all of those guys and made them look pedestrian. He came out to the mid of the ring, but this time he made the fundamental mistake of having his chin stuck right up in the air. I don't know why. Don Charles is a good coach. I've got no doubt about it. But tactically, they got it wrong. They got it so wrong. I don't know what Don Charles' tactics were for this fight, but Dubois clearly didn't carry out the instructions, not to detail. He couldn't have done. So why they never showed, or that why nobody's teaching Daniel Dubois to box, I don't really know. Because I know Daniel Dubois got a good jab. Daniel Dubois had a good jab from back in the amateurs, which he would have told me because he used to train him down in the England squad. He told me that Daniel Dubois has got one of the best jabs he's ever seen. Richie Woodall, by the way, is a complete boxer. He's a boxer. Richie Woodall's not a fighter, but he can recognise and appreciate clear, good boxing when he sees it. So when Richie said that to me, I have no reason other than to believe him because I trust his word. Why Daniel Dubois didn't box more, I don't know. But like I say, his whole game went out of the window. And he got ruined. He just got ruined. Did he quit? I don't know. I have to reserve judgment until I've seen the fight again. And I need to look in his eyes. I need to see where his legs were. I saw on the night, obviously, he got to 8, 9. The referee waved 10 and he got up and walked back to his corner. So, again, I have to reserve judgment until I've seen it.
Yeah. Now, Duke, while I've got you, like I say, 17 years competing. You've studied the game. What do you make of what seems to be Anthony Joshua's most likely next opponent in Jake Paul? What do you make of that?
Well, you know what? I get asked this a lot. But I normally get asked this from kids that don't know nothing about boxing. The sport. It's laughable. It's laughable that somebody like Jake Paul can even mention the name of Anthony Joshua. It's laughable that this guy could potentially get a fight with Anthony Joshua. But what isn't laughable is the fact that he could get seriously hurt. And there's no amount of money this guy could put on his health to buy it back, because Anthony Joshua would absolutely, I've got no doubt in saying, would destroy him. Because these YouTube fighters, that's what they are. They're worse than amateur boxers. They can't fight. Who's he beaten? He's beaten a little middleweight in Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Right? He's beaten him. He's a little guy. He's beaten some other old man. I can't even remember. Oh, he beat a 55 or 60-year-old Mike Tyson
Yeah.
who's washed up. You know, any fighter. What would Moses Atuma do to Mike Tyson today? I'm talking about. What would a young 21-year-old Moses Atuma do to Mike Tyson today? He would ruin him.
Mhm.
So, you know, I haven't watched that Tyson fight with Jake Paul, but my brother did, and he said it was scripted. Now, Mike Tyson had no business being in there fighting him anyway. So, Anthony Joshua, who ruined, who's the Ngannou,
Yeah.
right? Ngannou, he ruined him. Who's another YouTube guy. He's an MMA or whatever they want to call themselves, right? He's an expert in his chosen field. He stepped out of his lane and got ruined. This guy, Jake Paul, is even easier to hit than Ngannou. I promise you that. If Anthony Joshua's head is in the right space and he trains for this guy like a proper boxer, that guy's in trouble. And that fight shouldn't be sanctioned. It really shouldn't, because it's not going to end good. It's got disaster written all over it.
Yeah, definitely. Now, before I let you go quickly, the next Riyadh season card, Moses Atuma. Actually, you have mentioned him today. He makes his step up. Dillian White. Does Dillian White have a chance in this fight?
Slim and none. Slim and none. Dillian White is at a stage in his career now where he's cashing in. Simple. It's obvious to me, right? He's getting a huge payday for fighting this young star, right? Now, as soon as he realizes he can't beat the southpaw in Moses Atuma, then, which will only be a round or two, he'll look for the trap door. If he's not already been knocked out, then he'll go out. But, you know, listen, he might go out on his shield. He might ever go for a round or two.
Yeah.
But then once he realizes his game over, thank you very much. I've been paid. Thank you very much. I'm going home. Thank you very much. I got a nice big fat check. I don't mean that disrespectfully to Dillian White, because that's the smart thing to do. Why would you hang in there for 6, 8, 10 rounds in a fight you can't win? And he's not going to beat Moses Atuma. That's a fact. It just doesn't. This isn't the Dillian White of old. This is of old. We're looking at an old Dillian White. So he's got 2 chances, slim and none.
Yeah, definitely. Now, last one. You did touch on it earlier, but Moses Atuma, in case they do rush him maybe to break Mike Tyson's record and he gets in the ring with Alexander Usyk, how does that
He gets ruined. He gets ruined. I'm praying the fight doesn't happen. I'm praying this is just a way of promoting him, because the guy's got potential. He's got potential. Let him grow. Let him develop. He's not developed mentally. Synthetically, he's got it. He's got all the moves, and he's only going to improve synthetically. But it's from a psychological standpoint, a mental standpoint. If he fights Alexander Usyk and gets crushed, you'll never see the best of that boy. You won't. Unfortunately for Daniel Dubois, we're not going to see the best of Daniel Dubois, because Daniel Dubois now has been stopped 3 times. Not once, not twice, but 3 times, right? There's a pattern developing, and it's not a good pattern, which means he's fragile. When the wind blows, he's going over again. So, obviously it depends on who's in front of him. He's got to be a noted puncher, but you wouldn't want to see that. And for Moses Atuma, I hope they put the brakes on him. They slow him down a little bit. He's fast on the ascendancy, but the guy's still got to develop from a psychological standpoint. He's 20 or 21 years of age. He's a young man. You can't really compare him to Mike Tyson. Tyson at 21 was surrounded by Cus D'Amato. He was surrounded by Kevin Rooney. He was surrounded by Bill Caton and Jim Jakes. So his team were a solid team. He's still derailed, right? Too much too soon. My manager, Mickey Duff, taught me a very valuable lesson. Too much too soon for a young man is a bad thing. I didn't understand it at 21, but see, when I hit 30, I totally understood it. So let's just hope that this kid doesn't make too much money too soon and he doesn't get to the top too soon. Because if he does, then, listen, let's just hope they stop calling out Alexander Usyk's name. I hope the next guy to get a shot at Alexander Usyk is Joseph Parker. Deserves it, more than deserves it. Needs it for his own peace of mind. And then I'd like to see Alexander Usyk walk away from the sport as a 2-time unified, unbeaten world champion with all his faculties intact, a bucket load of money. The guy's a family man. He's going to enjoy his family, And hey presto, thank you and good night.